Alright, first and foremost, we're gonna say all honor and praises be unto Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Rukah, Kodash. The honors unto the apostles and elders of GreatMillStone and Shalom to the sincere and elect out there, teaching this truth and faith and sincerity, man. And basically, a quick point we want to speak on is an article that came out, man, this past week, man, of the military, man. I'm over there in the States, man. And basically they put out like a clip of them encountering the chariots, man, which they obviously call UFOs, man, which they don't have the full understanding of what it actually is. But we, with the truth and the scriptures, we understand totally, completely what it is exactly, man. So, do you want to read the article?
Well, it says the Navy keeps encountering mysterious UFOs, and no one can figure what they are.
That's right.
Well, this is a screenshot from a video provided by the Stars Academy of Arts and Science that purports to show a declassified instance of U.S. Navy jet tracking a UFO in flight. UFOs have been reported by the Navy and other branches of the military for decades. Despite numerous reports, the military has not put any significant or serious effort into finding out specific explanations of UFO
which that's what they say, but really, you already know they've got a team of researchers and thousands of hours of footage, right? Because guess what, man? And it's actually spiritual that the militaries, of the actual world always encounter them, because guess what? When the Lord comes back, he and the militaries are actually gonna have a big fight. I want to keep going. Right. And make point, bro.
Come. It says one of the reasons why there has not been a serious effort is because there is a negative stigma associated with those who believe that the UFOs may be visitors from beyond Earth, right? Basically call you crazy. If I'm not mistaken, I'll look it up real quick. You've got the argumentative term ad hominem, right? Let me just make sure that's the right one. Yeah, right. So an ad hominem, it says Latin for to the man or to the person, short for argumentum ad hominem, is a fallacious argumentative strategy whereby an argument is rebutted by attacking the character, motive, or other attribute of the person making the argument. Right, so by trying to call you crazy, you're crazy, or, for instance, with us, they'll be like, you're bums. Just trying as if to say that's going to invalidate the point that we're making. And that's what they basically going on there. Say, and you will say, we'll be bringing up the chariots and these guys are crazy. Right? Carry on.
That's right.
So I can tell you, I think it was not from this world.
And that's right, man. Yeah. He's on point, man. Yeah. He's on point, because we're actually going to show you from this from the scriptures, man.
That's right.
You know what it is exactly. But can you hold Psalm 104 and 3? I believe. Go ahead, up.
Well, it says, I can tell you, I think it was not from this world. Retired U.S. Navy pilot Commander David Fravor told ABC News in an interview in December 2017. Right. It says, I'm not crazy, haven't been drinking. And that's like we're saying, each time we talk about the chariot, people automatically assume you're crazy. Right? Because everyone has their measure of faith. Right? I remember I was dealing with one geezer, he was eating, and then you was telling him about the common destruction to come, and as soon as, and he was like, so how are you going to get saved from this? And I said, you told him about the chariots, and that was too much for him, man. I was like, what? It's like, basically, he was looking, it's like, nigga, you crazy, man.
Nigga crazy.
Right? But that's why he keeps saying, I'm not crazy. So I haven't been drinking, right? It was after 18 years of flying. I've seen pretty much about everything that I can see in that realm.
And I actually believe, I think it was a couple years ago, man. I actually saw a documentary, right? And it actually says like most pilots have seen bare chariots, but basically they have a fear of speaking on what they saw because they actually have to do like literally hundreds of pages of paperwork to actually come up with that information. So they've like
they'll be deemed a flight risk.
Yeah, flight risk.
Like, oh, this nigga's seeing
yeah,
this. Hey, maybe we need to go check this nigga out.
But like, yeah, he was saying like, literally, you gotta do that thick paperwork to just say what you saw in it. So they're like, man, that's long, man. You know, and again, they'll just be deemed as crazy, man.
Plus, you know, Edomites ain't got the faith, man. Edomite, man, you know, we saw it at the camp, man. We saw a flurry of chariots, you know, flying left, right, and it was a flurry.
Prior to that, we was reading scripture on the chariots.
Yeah, but what was the, what do you call it, the non-spiritual perspective? Ours is birds.
Yeah.
Ours is planes.
Yeah.
Despite everything that they saw, because they couldn't envision that, they didn't have the faith. Also, we saw it was like, yo, man, that's the chariots of the Lord.
And the craziest thing is, man, their actual elites, right? They know exactly what it is, man. Right? But can you get Psalms 104? Because basically, it's basically what you people immediately call UFOs in the scriptures are actually the chariots of heaven, the chariots of Israel. You read that, Psalms 104?
So Psalms 104, we start with verse 2. Who covereth thyself with light as with a garment, who stretches out the heavens like a curtain, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot.
That's right, the clouds is his chariot, because what is a chariot? Back then it was just like a mode of transport. So that ain't saying that the Lord's, you know, angels are in the heavens with like an actual horse from earth and an actual chariot going no. It's talking about their form of chariot, man. Because chariots in the ancient world was symbolized obviously transport and strength as well. You know, like it would actually speak about certain like kings coming with like thousands of chariots because that's their armies, man. Well, guess what? According to the scriptures, the actual Lord himself and his angels have thousands of chariots, man. Can you read that in Psalm 68?
Yeah, you go shoot too.
Yeah.
So Psalm 68 and verse 17. The chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels.
Wow. So he's saying his chariots are thousands of angels, man.
That's right.
Thousands of angels. Bro, you know, that's mad.
Can you imagine that scene? Like just thousands of millions of chariots just blocking out the sun, the moon, everything just going dark. Come on, man. There's no escape from that.
Bro, do you know what's scary about that scripture? We're reading an article. One guy saw one. He's bugging out, man.
That's right.
You're reading one. He's bugging out, man. And if you go and look at his time over there.
Oh, I didn't know that's
you see it? You know?
Yeah.
But you know, read that again. This is scary when you read this scripture and you read this article. You're like, damn, man.
This is Psalm 68 verse 17. The chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them. See?
Man.
As in Sinai, in the holy place.
Yep. So he's among them, man. Want to make a point?
Yep. Now I've got a precept.
Okay,
It's like it said, as in Sinai. What happened there? Moses was with the Israelites at Sinai. So it's obviously making a reference that the chariots, the angels of God, were also there. Helping them out of Egypt.
Yeah, helping us out of Egypt. And that's why when our people were in the fields, swing low, sweet chariot, come forth to carry me home. You know, where's home? Where's home? Home's Israel. Home is, and really,
in second verse starts talking about the river
Jordan.
What do I see? Shadow.
Yeah, that's right, man. You know.
So that should tell you, or you know, some people will bug out that there was actually, you know, so-called UFOs leading the children of Israel out of Egypt.
Yeah.
That's proof right there. That's the scripture.
Yeah. And if I can say as well, and that's why the scriptures say when the Lord comes and you know destroys this place, one of the things that people are going to say is surely thou art power that hidest thyself. Yeah. Because in the ancient world they knew about the chariots.
Yeah.
You know, the chariots were a well-known thing. right? But now Jake don't know about chariots. Yet that's their own. That's the vehicle that their own power drives. You know. When enemies come back, and then they're going to see the chariots. But it all goes to make Wisdom 5 and 1 come to
strangeness of that.
Strangeness, because they've just seen little green men.
And really, there's thousands of millions of chariots, man. And really, some of them through the spirit have a cloaking system, you know, like, you know what I mean? There's chariots that's big, chariots that's small, chariots that can't be seen, chariots that's seen, you know, chariots that's green, you know, red, you know, there's countless chariots, man. Alright, cool. I was gonna say keep going.
Yeah, just which quote to land back for the brother read. It says Revelation 1:7 says, "Behold, he cometh with clouds, every eye shall see him." Right, and part of that every eye shall see him is all of those chariots are gonna be encompassing the heavens, man. Right, so, like and as we read, you know, which were thousands of chariots, man, thousands of angels, and you know, a multitude of chariots that are gonna come as well. You know,
keep going.
It says Fravor was describing his encounter with an unidentified flying object during a training mission off the coast of California on November 14th, 2004.
So this is from 2004, man.
Yeah, he waited to retire first.
Yeah, and
you don't do it.
Yeah, so fuck yeah, I say it now.
Yeah. The UFO was performing seemingly impossible moves, left, right, forward, back, just random, in Fravor's words, and then accelerated and disappeared.
Yeah, and really, man, Esau can't even do a quarter, a 16th of the things that chariots do, man.
Yeah,
because like, you know what I mean? Times I've seen these Edomites do them air shows, man, and then one force move was like ripped apart the plane.
Yeah,
they'd be going to, and the G-force just rips the plane. But the chariot can be doing this, man. We seen it. I remember this is like this happened about a year ago or the year before. No, I think it was a year ago. It was like a couple weeks after the Passover. Yeah, a chariot passed over the camp. Like after we're at the camp, and the chariot was doing this. Yeah, then it went over us. It just changed his direction completely, and it passed over us like a week or two after the Passover. You know, and that's what we hope for. To be saved, man.
Yeah, that's right. Because the chariots, they don't need to slow down momentum to take a curve.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No, they just go straight up.
They can walk that. And that's what my man just going left, right, like that. Whereas Esau's just has to go.
Yeah.
But then if you try something, the G-force might.
The thing is, they can't. That's the problem. They're bound by the laws of physics, whereas the chariots aren't.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Esau cannot make a vehicle that goes down and just changes direction like that.
Man, he can't even like. He can't do the stuff, man.
God.
And on top, you've seen chariots get bigger, smaller, bigger. Esau can't make the
like stop in the air. Park it.
Materialize, dematerialize. You know?
And then just shoot. And then
aliens!
Then travel faster than the speed of light as well.
Yeah.
That is crazy. It's beautiful.
Right, it says, I have never seen anything in my life, in my history of flying, that has the performance, the acceleration. Keep in mind, this thing had no wings.
Yeah. So, when you read this, this ain't a joke, man. Because you, like, and this same article was on RT News. This is on Business Insider. So it ain't some like just some random article, you know, on like a site like the Onion or something like Onion.
Yeah, don't be doing videos on stuff from the Onion. Yeah, man. That's fake news, man.
Yeah, like
so on the level that's fake. That's legit fake.
Yeah, on purpose. It actually tells you it's not real. But like, you know what I mean? It's just some article.
I saw this on the Onion.
Yeah, man, the chip. But chips, the chip is the mark of the beast. But the point I'm saying is that, man, it's just some serious article, man. You know, keep going.
It says,
look at that, man.
Video of the incident with another similar encounter was published in December by the New York Times, right? It says the second video shows U.S. Navy pilots tracking one of apparently numerous UFOs moving at high speed with seemingly no source of propulsion. That's it. Esau's like, yo, how the fuck is this? Because Esau's, what is in Newton's law, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So he's saying, for me to move this way, I need a force pushing me back. Right, but once again, right, this is the Lord's vehicles, man. The Lord created these vehicles, and these vehicles aren't bound by the same rules that we're bound.
Yeah, and as simple as this, right? If you know, have a car or a bus, you know, yeah, man, I'm a whip. What makes you think the Heavenly Father and His angels don't have transport? You know? Go ahead, out.
Yeah, because I can tell you how, because Esau's made them think that they're little babies, naked babies with wings.
Yeah, and bows and arrows.
Yeah.
Freaks. Go ahead, out.
So it says this is a fucking drone, bro. One pilot says. Yeah, there's a whole fleet of them. Look on the SA. The other responds.
Yeah, because you're always gonna have scoffers.
Mm-hmm.
That's a drone, bro.
They don't want to believe.
And then his boy was like, "Look, man, shut up, man."
Yeah.
Yeah. Says as the UFO continues on its flight path, one of the pilot makes a note of their speed and direction. They are all going against the wind.
Wow,
the wind is 120 knots to the west. Look at that thing, dude. Soon, to the shock of the pilots, the UFO changes position. Look at that thing! One calls out as the UFO somehow manages to turn on its side while still maintaining its speed and direction.
Wow.
It's rotating.
So they're bugging out.
Yeah.
They're bugging out. Go ahead.
It says another video posted online last Friday to the Stars Art Academy of Arts and Science, a private scientific research group, shows a similar incident, a US Navy FA-18 getting a lock on a UFO, and the crew yelling their excitement and confusion at each other. Whoa, got it! One of the pilots yells after getting a lock. What the fuck is that thing? The other asks. These videos are a select few of a number of recorded encounters between the US Navy and UFOs that the Department of Defense has unclassified and released. Now, you got to understand, right, is it's unclassified and released. What do they do? That means that there are several documents that will not be released because they're a threat to national security, and when they are released, they might be released with bare redactions, and you know, all you see is black, just black for the next couple of lines. Then you read more, then it's black for another couple of lines because it's information that the government doesn't want you to have.
That's right.
Now these people will bug out.
That's right.
They started seeing the chariots. Now, not saying Esau might not. Esau might, it may be the direction the elites want to go. Start releasing release some of this stuff bit by bit by bit. Well, we don't know, right? But hey, these are the chariots of the Lord.
That's right. Can you read your scripture you read in Revelation 1?
It's Revelation 1 and 7.
Yeah, because guess what, man? Ultimately, in case you didn't know, the one who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ is coming back in chariots, man, which are what you people ignorantly call UFOs, man. And guess what? You only comes with them, man. He ain't coming to just I'm just here to show myself. He's coming back to destroy and to save, man. Go ahead up.
It says, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall woe because of him.
That's right.
Even so, man.
Because it's going to be a scary sight. Because when he comes, obviously he's coming with force and power and with his angels, but he's also going to come. He's also going to come with a vibration on it. You know how there's things you see, you just see it, but he gonna come and everyone's gonna feel like death's coming, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's why everyone's going well, man, because it's gonna be during the time period of World War III, martial law, chip. Yeah. It's gonna be hot, and then you're suddenly just gonna. It's like, you know when it says as if a man is freed from a lion and a bear, man. It's actually gonna be. It's gonna be that time. People like during that time, you have people who've escaped martial law, who've escaped concentration camps or whatever. Then you just see a million stuff.
You thought you made it.
You thought you made it. Yo, let me just chill. Oh shit! You see something? You see a chariot that's bigger than the sun. Just in the sky, just posted. And you see Jake's getting beamed up. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But that's what's coming.
Right. I might as well get it since you quoted it.
Second, what's this?
Amos.
Okay, yeah, read it.
Amos 5:18 says, "Woe unto you that desire the day of Yahweh. To what end is it for you?"
Yeah. And that's the question. So, you only got these church niggas. Oh, my Lord Jesus, that day you can't, all of this, yeah? But scripture says, to what end is it for you? Because the scripture says, go ahead.
Yeah. For the day of Yahweh is darkness and not light.
That's right, it's darkness because he's the day of the Lord's talking about the actual time period of destruction that's coming upon the earth up until his actual time, man. It's going to be a time period of darkness and not light. But that's why it says those who are the elect are going to scarcely be saved, because in the midst of darkness there's hope for the elect.
Yeah.
But if you're not the elect, there's no hope.
Yeah, that's why Yahushua said in the book of Matthew, I didn't come to send peace on earth, but a sword. So you Christian churches, you got another thing coming, man. He ain't coming down to be handing daffodils and cupcakes and smiley faces, nah. Or bring all religions or all people to be one or whatever. Nah, man. He's coming to separate the lost sheep of Israel who are the elect. Yeah, and the rest of the heathens, they're gonna get changed, man.
That's right. Can you read the 2 Kings?
Okay, this is 2 Kings chapter 6, verse 9, yeah?
Yeah, on down. Yeah.
And the man of God sent unto the king of Israel, saying, Beware that thou pass not such a place, for thither the Syrians are come down. And the king of Israel sent to the place which the man of God told him, and warned him of, and saved himself there, not once, nor twice. Therefore the heart of the king of Syria was sore troubled with this thing. And he called his servants and said unto them, Will ye not show me which of us is for the king of Israel? And one of his servants said, None, my lord, O king, but Elisha, the prophet that is in Israel, telleth the king of Israel the words that thou speakest in the bedchamber. And he said, Go and spy where he is, that I may send and fetch him. And it was told him, saying, Behold, he is in Dothan. Therefore sent he thither horses and chariots and a great host, and they came by night and compassed the city about. And when the servants of man of God was risen early and gone forth, behold, a host compassed the city, both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, Alas, my master, how shall we do?
Yeah, because guess what? He saw that and got shook, because his spirit, wasn't as built up, man, as Elisha, Go ahead.
And he answered, Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them.
That's right, man. And in spirit, he was saying, look, man, don't worry, man. You have these carnal chariots here, but guess what, man? We have angels, thousands of, and hosts of angels who are with us. And guess what, brothers? In our day-to-day life, the angels of the Lord are with us, man. And man, there's the stuff that happens to you in your day-to-day life, man, when you realize, man, Spirit was dealing, man. Because guess what? We actually have a host of angels around us, man, in chariots. Because that's what's gonna happen here. Go ahead.
Okay. And it says, and Elisha prayed and said, Lord Yahweh, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord Yahweh opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha.
So as I was thinking these things, man, he prayed to the Lord and said, Lord, can you open this guy's eyes? And he saw the mountain, man, full of chariots, man, full of UFOs, so-called, just chilling. Just chilling. And really, that's supposed to give you faith, man, or to strengthen your faith, because it's like, because when you flash back to the story, So they seem to be in a impossible situation. Things looked crazy, but then guess what? The Lord opened his eyes and saw these, and you know what? In the actual time of trouble, the same thing's gonna happen. You might be getting sent into a concentration camp, and you actually might be with a person whose spirit is he's not off, but he's new in the faith, and you pray to the Lord to open his eyes, and you see there's chariots just among you, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's Romans 15:4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
That's right, man. That's right. And that's simple and plain to the point. Go ahead.
And it says, and when they came down to him, Elisha prayed unto the Lord Yahweh and said, smite this people, I pray thee, with blindness. And he smote them with blindness, according to the word of Elisha.
That's right, man. And now, if you go according to the scriptures, and it's clearly gonna describe how things will be when the Lord comes back. You can read that in your phone, or you can read it later.
Okay, cool. So 2 Ezra 13 from the top says, and it came to pass after 7 days I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea that had moved all the waves thereof. And behold, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heavens. And when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him.
And who is that man? That's talking about the one people ignorantly called Jesus Christ, man. Which his true Hebrew name is Yahweh Shai, man. Because don't you see films like Independence Day, like a chariot coming through the clouds with fire around it? Well, that's what's gonna happen, man. Go ahead up. Right.
It says, and when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him. Already read it. Yeah. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire.
So that's talking about the actual chariot and a blast of fire coming out the front of the chariot, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It says, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea.
And that's the precept to Revelation 12:7. Can you quickly just read that? Yeah. Because what this is talking about is that when the Lord comes upon the earth, during the actual time period when America is being destroyed, man. You're actually gonna have the armies of the actual earth trying to fight it, man. And it's here in Revelation 12:7.
Revelations 12:7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels.
And the dragon is what? The Roman Empire, man. And it's come back now and it's established now. But guess what? This day is I'm speaking about what I was just saying. That when the Lord comes back, you're doing with his host, right? They are gonna try and fight against him, man. But guess what? The actual scriptures is going to clearly describe what's going to happen when they try and fight against the Lord and his chariots, which you people call UFOs. Go ahead.
And prevailed not.
And prevailed not, man. And that's the same thing that's going to describe here, which shows the so-called Old Testament and New Testament are the same thing. Go ahead up. And it's crazy because Ezra saw this thousands years ago before John. And it's just the same message, the same precept. Go ahead up.
Right, it says, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the earth to subdue the man that came out of the sea.
And when it says sea, it's talking about the sky and firmament.
Yeah, because the Hebrew word is Shemayim.
Yeah, which is the waters.
Shemayim or Mayim?
No, it's
Shemayim, right. Yeah.
Shemayim is heavens, which is the waters too.
Right.
So when it says sea, it's not talking about it's coming from underneath the earth. It's talking about him coming from the sky, from firmament. Go ahead.
Right. It says, but I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it.
And he's describing it as a mountain because of how big the chariot was. Go ahead.
Right. It is, but I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight.
That's right, because when you could think about it, we just read one article of them seeing a couple chariots, right, and they're bugging out. How much more you see a chariot that's the same size as a mountain? They're like, well, you know what? Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. But it says they're scared, but yet durst fight. Because guess what? The actual spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai is going to put a spirit upon him to fight. Because guess what? He's a man of war. Of course he wants to fight.
And he even shows it in these movies, like Independence Day. You know? Like he puts it as the aliens, you know, green men and stuff like that. They're coming out to take over the earth. And they're scared because the technology is far superior, but they still got that pride. Oh, by God, we're going through this alive and all that. Bringing all their Marines, the military, all their big weapons, their nukes, even though it don't work, they still want to fight. Yeah, man. That's the pride of Esau, man.
Go ahead. It shows like Ezra was 480 to 440 BCE. So like the brother was saying, you know, this was being written base part of 500 years before John wrote it, man. You know, so it's showing that the most what does it say? Yahweh said, "I'm the Lord, I change not." Right? If you gave one man one prophecy, right, he's gonna give the next man the same prophecy, which is why you see a lot of repetition in the scriptures, man, all throughout. And then, hey, look at us, 2,000 plus years later, we're still saying the same thing. We're still prophesying the same things, man.
That's right.
Right. It says, but only I saw that, where am I? Sorry, I'm on verse 9. Right, it says, and lo, he saw, have I read verse 8? I'll read it.
Yeah, read it.
It says, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. Right? It says, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire.
Meaning what? He was like a laser, man, in front of the chariot, man. Because guess what? Basically, as the brother was saying, War of the Worlds, Independence Day. This is in 2nd Ezra 13, man. Which Lord put the spirit upon his prophets to understand what it is. Right? Go ahead.
Right. It says, but I only saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden and of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke.
That's in Independence Day, man.
Yeah.
You see it, they're getting poof, poof, poof.
That's right.
That's what's basically gonna come, because it's his fires is gonna evaporate them, man.
Yeah. You know, it goes on to say, when I saw this, I was afraid.
Man, that's right, man, and that's
a man of the Lord.
That's just that's the man of the Lord, man.
Speaks. So imagine a guy on the wall.
That's right,
imagine
man.
one of these
scoffers.
You know, these scoffers, these Edomites, man. When hey man, I'm gonna use shit and bricks, man.
People are gonna die just by the seeing it.
Yeah. But guess what?
Look at eyes pop out their socket, heart failing.
Yeah. That's right, man. This is Revelation 19.
That's the spirit I'm on it.
Oh yeah, read it then.
Yeah. This is Revelation 19 verse 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, which is same depiction in Revelations 1:13 of Yahushua. And on his head were many crowns. So why is it saying many crowns? Because the Lord is going to conquer this earth, man. You know, he's going to
subdue every rulership. Yeah, this whole empire is going to be put down low, and he's going to establish his own empire, man.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's going to be doing the Father's will as always, and you're going to have the 12 disciples. You're going to have the elect of Israel, all going to be working accordingly, man.
Mhm.
And it says,
And he had a name written that no man knew but himself.
Mm.
And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood. And his name is called the Word of God.
Mm.
And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses.
so that white horses represents the chariots that we spoke about. The clouds, the horses, they're all synonymous to the chariots.
Because a horse is a powerful animal, man.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to be on the back. Literally, you don't want to be on the back legs of a horse when a horse is kicking back, man.
Yeah.
You know, even when you just see them all whammed up and shit,
Yeah.
right? And that's a representative of the power that the chariots bring, man.
Yeah, even vehicles today, they have a measurement of horsepower.
I literally just thinking.
Yeah, spirit. So in cars, they mention horsepower as well.
And it says, and the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses.
And the armies of what?
That's right.
Of angels, as it says in Psalm 68.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah, that's right.
Which are thousands of angels, man.
God.
Thousands of angels just in the cup, man.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth, like we read in Esdras, goeth a sharp sword.
Now, what's a sword for? It's a killing instrument. It destroys. It cuts.
Yeah. That with it he should smite the nations.
Mm.
So these Christians don't talk about this when the Lord comes back. He's gonna destroy nations. Yeah.
And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of the mighty God.
So this is the wrath of the Most High, man.
That's right.
He's sending his son. You know what, son? Take over this place, man. Because look at all this wickedness. They don't know how to do it right. So he's sending his son to do it right and to establish the nation of Israel, which is you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and those that are scattered, you know, through the spirit and characteristics of the word. You guys are Israelites, and you'll sit up next to rule. But guess what? On this side, 2/3 of you are going to have to die because you're not going to repent. You're prideful, man.
That's right.
Scoffers.
Have you got more on that?
That's it, man.
I have a scripture. This is Matthew 24:28. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with the sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven unto another. So it's saying that what, man, you know, basically during the time period in the midst of the tribulation of these days, man, you actually gonna see the Son of Man, who's what, the one people even call Jesus Christ, which his name is what, Yahweh Shai, and he's gonna come with him them chariots, man, you know, to bring destruction and to save his elect, man, you know, right? And that we're gonna end with this scripture, Zechariah chapter 5:1, and it says, Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. That's right, because really, it's a curse and a curse unto the earth, because guess what? those who currently have power upon this earth is going to bring destruction upon them.
If I'm made just on that point, Isaiah 66:15, for behold, Yahweh will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire.
That's right.
Yeah, for by fire and by his sword will Yahweh plead with all flesh, and the slain of Yahweh shall be many.
That's right, man. And that's it, man. Because guess what? He's coming with them chariots. Which again, the chariots are what you people in call unidentifiable flying objects. You know, but it's identifiable according to the scriptures, if you have the understanding. So this is verse 3 of Zechariah 5. Then said he unto me, that this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off, as on the side according to it. And who's the main thief? The main thief is Esau, man. The thief coming not but to steal, to kill, and destroy. Right? And to everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. Right? And it says, I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief. And the actual house of the thief is what? The chief, stronghold of the thief is over there in the States, man. And that's what's gonna come. Obviously it's gonna come up on the whole earth, because it's coming to the kingdom of Esau. It's actually gonna invade the kingdom of Esau, because guess what? The actual earth is given into the hand of the wicked, man. And into the house of him that swear falsely by my name. And it shall remain in the midst of this house, and it shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof, man. So really, we just explained what these guys here saw, man. They just saw the chariots of Israel, man. And in this time period that's about to come upon the earth, it's coming. It really is here, because people see it, It's gonna bring destruction. Have you got anything to say?
Yeah, look, man. There'll come a point where there ain't no and I'm not too sure, man. Right? Because right now we talk at these people, and we bring out the chariot sign. And, these guys are crazy. But there'll come a point, man, when you're just gonna see the chariots. The chariots, if you're of the elect or of those destined for salvation, then those chariots will beam you up. If you're those destined for destruction, then you'll see a chariot, you'll be like, oh shit, they do exist, and then you get zapped, man.
Sure.
Right? Like I said, right now all we do is talking. Oh, that's all we can do. Switches talk about our the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, spiritual. All we can do is talk spiritual, because a lot of the things are by faith. That's the thing with prophecy. It's all about faith. We say the chariots, we've seen the chariots in heaven, right? But we have faith that those chariots are going to manifest above us and show themselves to the world, right? And then beam us up, man. We have faith in that. We have faith in the prophecies between that America and Russia are going to go at it in war, that America is going to be destroyed. That's another thing we tell them. We tell America is going to be absolutely destroyed off the face of planet Earth. They can't see that. Right, but just as this, man, these things will come to pass, and then you shall know, man. Then you'll give praise to who needs to be given praise, and that's Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Why? Because he had his men out there for 30 plus years telling you that this was going to happen, and then now it's happening.
Yeah, that's right. You got to say that.
That's it, man. Every eye shall see it. That's it.
That's right. Alright. So we got to say all honor and praise be to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, the apostles and elders of GreatMillStone. Shalom. Look at that time. You see that time? It was
0-1
and 0-1. And